Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn setting up a local WordPress development environment for our experiment. Creating a local development environment for WordPress is a crucial step for web developers, designers, and digital marketers. By installing WordPress on our local machine, we can build, test, and customize our WordPress website without affecting live production site. This guide will walk you through the process of setting up a local development environment and installing WordPress on your localhost. So, before we start to install WordPress, first we have to set up a local development environment. Okay, the first step in installing WordPress on your localhost is to set up a local development environment. This is typically involves installing a web server, a database, and the necessary software to run the WordPress on our local machine. Some popular local development platforms are XAMPP, MAMP, and WAMP. We can also make use of the AMPPS for setting up a local development environment, which bundle all the required components into a single installer. Once we install our local development platform, we will need to start web server and ensure it's running properly. This will create a localhost URL such as http colon forward slash the forward double slash localhost, or we can just browse through this http colon forward slash 127.0.0.1, where we can access our local WordPress installation. So to install or to create a local development environment, the first step is that install a local development platform, XAMPP, MAMP, or WAMP, as per our operating system and as per our requirement. Then second, we have to we have to start the web server and ensure it's running correctly. Now the last step is to verify that we can access the localhost URL in our web browser. Okay, so we are going to start to install these all the things. So first we are going to download the XAMPP. For our example, I'm just going to make use of XAMPP over here. So go to the website of XAMPP. I'm just going to provide a link of XAMPP in description. So go through that one. So here is the XAMPP website for downloading XAMPP. XAMPP for Windows. That is right now the current version is 8.0.3.30, and here the version of XAMPP is based on the version of PHP. Okay, so right now currently there are three versions: 8.0.30, 8.1.25, 8.2.12. So we are going to make use of the latest one. These are all the stable one. So just download this one. Okay, so the download is going to be start. Actually, I have already downloaded this one, but I'm just going to show you from where we are going to download this all the things. So just downloaded this XAMPP over here again. Now the next step towards, so I'm just going to install that XAMPP as a next step. Okay, just double click on XAMPP installer. So here it is already. I have downloaded WordPress and some images for our further examples. I will show you how to download, from where to download the WordPress. So here we have to click on yes, okay. Then the setup will start. He is going to ask whether we are ready. Then welcome to the XAMPP setup wizard and click the next button. So here he is going to ask us that which component you are going to install, but by default some components are installed, that is Apache, PHP, which we cannot modify that one. So if you require MySQL, then select this one. If you require FileZilla, FTP server, Mercury mail server, or Tomcat, and the last this one. Okay, so I don't require this one, so I'm just going to untick this one. and clicking on the next one. If you have already installed MySQL, don't make use of this one. Just use your MySQL from your computer system. Otherwise, you have to change the port number. I will show you how to change that port number. So click on next button. Now he is going to ask where to install. So it is a portable one. Means after if you want to copy this particular exam to another machine or another drive, it is very much easy and possible for us. So it is portable. So I am just going to install it on a drive D on my computer system. Yes, language selection is here. I'm just going to make use of the English language over here. Clicking on the next. Now setup is now ready to begin installation XAMPP on our computer system. So I'm just now going to click on next button. Okay, so while it is going to be installed, we are going to download the WordPress and steps for WordPress, how to install WordPress. I'm just going to give a overlook, and after installing this XAMPP, we will start with the installation of WordPress. Okay, so I'm just going to download the WordPress over here. Just type the WordPress download. Go to the wordpress.org to download WordPress on our computer system. Select latest one. The latest one version is download WordPress 6.5.2. Okay, so this is the latest one, but it recommends use of PHP 7.4 or greater than, and MySQL version is 8.0 or MariaDB version 10.4 or greater. So we require 7 PHP version of 7.4 or greater, MySQL version 8.0 or it is greater, or 10.4 for MariaDB or greater. So we have downloaded the XAMPP having the version of 8.0.30. So it is benefited, or it is usable by this WordPress. So just click on that particular download, and it is now going to be downloaded on my computer system. Okay, so the next steps towards installation of this WordPress is that installing WordPress on localhost. Okay, so once we done with the exam, or and after starting the web server, we are going to hit that particular localhost, then it is okay. The page is going to be displayed and then fine with the XAMPP, that is the local development environment, that is running as per the expectations. Now the next step towards installation of this WordPress, we have to download. Once we have our local development environment set up, then next step to install WordPress on our local host is that to download the latest version of WordPress from the official website, that is wordpress.org, and extract files to the appropriate directory on your local machine. Usually it is htdocs for XAMPP, htdocs for XAMPP, or www for XAMPP. Okay, depending on our local development environment. If we are using XAMPP, then we have to extract the files to htdocs, or if we are going to make use of the WAMP, then we have to make use of the www folder, or AMPPS. For AMPPS, it is also we are going to make use of the folder www over there. Okay, after extracting the WordPress files, we need to create a new MySQL database used for WordPress installation. User and data, we have to create user and database over there. Then local development and platforms have a built-in tools for managing database, that is the PHP admin, that is by default installed. We have selected to install that one. Once we have database set up, we can run the WordPress installation wizard, which will guide we through the process of configuring our WordPress site on our localhost. Okay, so this is the scenario. Step 1, download the latest version, extract the WordPress files to the appropriate directory on a local machine, create a new MySQL database and user for WordPress installation, run the WordPress installation wizard to configure our local WordPress site. Okay, so we are now going to check that whether our XAMPP is installed or not. Yes, it is now almost in a finishing phase. So here, what is the XAMPP meaning is given here. XAMPP is an easy to install, that is Apache, A for Apache, okay, M for MySQL, P for PHP, and the last P for Perl. Okay, and this X means that any operating system, means this exam is going to X means Windows, Mac, Linux. Okay, for any operating system we can just make use of this particular and local development environment for creating any kind of PHP applications. So it is now almost in a finishing phase. So here I am also going to show you how to change the port number, because right now in my computer system I have already using IIS web server. Okay, so to run Apache web server I need to change the port of Apache from 80 to 8080. I'm just going to change that because otherwise it is not going to be work. Here we have the message like that one only. Apache will not start without configured ports are free. Okay, we need to install, uninstall, disable, reconfigure all the already used web servers. Okay, so it is just I'm just going to change that port number. Okay, so here is the config button where we are going to change that particular port number. So I'm just going to click config over here. So Apache httpd.conf over here I have the I'm just going to click over here to change the port number. If any other web server is not installed, then okay with 80. Okay, so what is mean by this 80? 80 is the port number reserved for HTTP file transfer. Okay, so this is uh, 80 for HTTP, that is a hypertext transfer protocol, which is used for browsing the websites, and HTTPS, and port number is 443. So HTTPS is hypertext transfer protocol, which one? Secured one. Okay, so this is what we have, and right now I have changed it to 8081. So I'm just going to save this file. Okay, and now starting with the server. Okay, now is also going to show that problem detected port 80 is in use by unable to open process. Okay, Apache will not start without configured. Now this showing that status change detected running. Okay, so these ports are now free, 8081 and 443. Okay, now the next thing we have to start for our WordPress website is that MySQL. Okay, if you have already installed MySQL by any other application, just you have to change the port number. Just open the config file myini and search for port number, that is the 3306. The by default port number of MySQL to communicate with the application is that 3306. Search that one, and for every search you have to replace that particular port number. Okay, so select over here 3307, 3308. Okay, so not an issue over there. Okay, and right now I don't have any other application, so it is okay for me. Now I'm going to start the MySQL. Okay, I'm now going to check that whether this server is running okay or not. Okay, okay, so here in my condition I'm just going to type localhost in a URL and 8081. Okay, so here what I have. Okay, that's fine. Now our web server is okay, installed okay, all things are okay. I'm just going to click on PHP admin, my admin, whether the database is connected or not. Okay. Okay, database is also connected over here. So not an issue with the web server, not an issue with the database server. So now the next thing here, we have to extract the WordPress files. So I'm just going to extract these files. Okay, so here I have downloaded a file. So just going to extract to htdocs. Okay, so just find where you have installed XAMPP. Just go to that folder In my case, on D drive, I have installed XAMPP. Now I'm searching for the htdocs. Here I do have a htdocs folder. Just double click on htdocs. I'm creating a new folder over here. That is the new site. Okay, just give a project name over there. Select the folder. Now the path to extract is that D, XAMPP, htdocs and new site. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the extract button. Okay, now it is going to be extracted. Okay, meanwhile, we are just going to create a database required for user and database required for WordPress installation. So I'm just going to make a practice that I'm creating a user first for every database. For every new project, I'm creating a new user, and I'm just going to test that application through this user accounts. Okay, so adding a user, just click on user accounts. Now click on add a new user account over here. Okay, I'm just going to create a WPA, that is the WordPress administrator user over there. Now the host name, you have to select only local over here, and localhost we have to check that whether the localhost is here or not. Okay, they are going to provide us scope to define our own password over here, but I am going to make use of this generate password system over here because he is going to provide a more complex password. Just I am going to copy this password to my file because it requires in a further steps while installing WordPress. Okay, now in my case, in this example, I am going to create a database name with the same name of the username. You can untick this and you can just create your own databases over there. Just going to check this all and click on this go button. Okay, now the database is created. No tables found in database. We are not going to create any table in a database. Okay, the WordPress itself going to create his own tables over here. I'm just going to show after installation of WordPress. Okay, now let's check whether all the files are extracted. Yes, all the files are extracted. Just I'm going to paste it in my folder, that is a new site. Okay, so now we are ready to install. We made available all the prerequisites before installation of the WordPress. Now we are going to start the installation of the WordPress. Now in URL we have to type localhost. In my case, I have a port number, so I'm just going to use that port number 8081. Now the folder name where I have extracted the files of WordPress. So in my case, new site. Okay. Just I'm going to click entering over here. Okay. So now the installation is going to be started over here. Okay. So path is new site WP admin setup -config.php. In WordPress, there is one file of config.php where all settings are configured, and we are going to edit that file to configure after installation if we require after installation. Okay, so in current right now in that config.php there is system like that key. It is not installed on this machine, so he is going to show this path after hitting this new site folder. Okay, So select the language which is appropriate. I am selecting United States, English United States. Click on continue button. Now he is going to tell us that the prerequisites to install the WordPress. Okay, so welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, you will need to know the following items. That is the database name. Okay, database name, not database tables. Okay, database name, database user, database password, and database host. Now he is also going to ask us a table prefix. Okay, so I'm just going to show you in next step. But it is why we require this one. If we are going to make use of the same database for different WordPress website, and we have to differentiate between them, then we are going to make use of this table prefix for different WordPress website. So I'm just going to click on let's go because all these things are with me. Let's go. Now the database name WPA which I have created. Then username again WPA. Password which I have copied earlier. Database host, that is the local host, and the table prefix. Okay, I'm not going to change anything over here. Going to click on submit button. If everything is okay, then the next step he is going to show that all right, Sparky, you have made it through this part of installation. WordPress can now communicate with the database. If you are ready, time now to run the installation. So I am ready. I am now going to hit on this run the installation button. Okay, now here we have to set the site title. I am setting it as a new site. The site title is shown over here. Then we have to set the username. So don't make use of the admin username over here. Then the password which is required to access the admin panel of this WordPress. Okay. So here we do have a scope to edit this one or just make use of this generated one. I'm just going to make use of this generated one. Why? Because it is more complex. But I have to keep it aside when every time if I require to log in into admin, then I have to use this one. Okay, then give a appropriate user email address over there, and because if you forget that particular password, you have to just use this email address over there to recover that password. Then search engine visibility, if you don't want to index your website in any search engine, then click here discourage search engine, but I'm not going to do these things. Now I'm going to click on install WordPress, but before that we are going to check that whether the tables are created or not it. So no tables created yet. Just click on install WordPress. Okay, now our site is ready to use. Okay, so again I'm clicking on this database. Now the tables which are required for our website, WordPress website, these are created over here. Okay, so now I'm just going to browse this website from another browser. Okay, so to browse this website I have to just type the URL, that is localhost colon 8081 in my case, and a new site. Yes, in previous when we have not installed, it is going to show me the install WordPress. Right now he is going to show me that he is going to showing the default template which is installed while we are installing the WordPress. Okay, so this is what we have right now, the website of the WordPress. Now we are going to access the admin panel of this website. Just click on login button. Okay, to access the WordPress website, we have to go through this particular page. That is the we have to make use of this folder name of the site, and then /wp hyphen login.php to access this page. Okay, so the my username is new at the site, and the password which I have copied for the administrator. Okay, just going to I'm just going to log in into administration of this WordPress. Okay, so this is the dashboard of administrator of the WordPress website which we have currently installed. Okay, so what we have in this dashboard. Okay, so to customize the website, we have all the tools over here. In left side, we have scope to add the post, scope to add medias, that is the images, videos, mp3s which are required for that website. If we want to add dynamic pages, then we do have a scope to add pages over here. Then the comments. Okay, so this is what we have after installation of default website. There is a plugin of comments. So for that, here we have already someone commented over here. If we unapprove this comment, it is not going to be shown on that WordPress website. If we are going to click on spam, it is going into a spam. If we click on this trash, then the comment is deleted. Okay, so this is what we have comment section. Then the appearance. Okay, from where we are going to download, we are going to use, we are going to activate any kind of themes required for this WordPress website. Okay, so I'm just going to give a brief of this again in a next video. So here is the by default editor to edit the particular themes. Okay, right now the current theme is this 2024 one. Okay, this is what we are using right now. Okay, so here it is. The next thing is that the plugins are uh, gives additional power for that particular WordPress website. For that particular we are going to make use of these plugins over here. So right now two plugins are already installed but not activated. So to activate, if we require, we are going to activate this one. If we don't require, we are not going to activate, or we are just going to delete this one. If we want to add any kind of plugin, just click on add new plugin. Now it is going to show the plugins which are tested and which having the the authority from the WordPress to install on your website. Okay, so this is what they are going to show over here. Okay, the next thing is that users. If you want to add user according to the role, just add a new user. Just fill up this information. Then we do have a selection of this role over here: subscriber, contributor, author, editor, and administrator. Okay, if you want to add a new administrator, just go through this one and add new administrator over there. Then the profiles, different profiles over here: admin color scheme. Okay, so here we do have shortcuts and other things over here. Just I'm not going to edit anything over here. The tools, the import tool is here, export tool is here, site health. He is going to check all the health of the site and showing the critical issues and warnings over here, recommended improvements. So he is going to results are still uploading, sorry, loading, should be improved. Okay, so the critical issues: one or more required modules are missing, page cache is not. Okay, so it is up to us which kind of template or theme we are using and which kind of plugins we are using. Accordingly, he is going to show us that, and we have to correct these things. Then the settings, title of the site, tagline for that particular website. Then administrator email address. Okay, so just select the time zone as per your country region. Right now I'm from India, so I'm just going to make use of this etc plus 530. Okay, so he is now currently showing us that 11th of April, and this is 12 a.m. 12. Uh, so right now, okay, we are going to check. I'm just going to save this one. So now he is going to show the current time over here, local time 5:43 p.m. Okay, so next video we are going to learn about how to select the theme, how to install the plugins. Okay, thank you very much.